Hello everybody, Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It's actually quite beautiful here in Chicago, maybe 50, 60 lemon water for the day. I love the taste of lemon water and it's just so refreshing. It's like lemonade, but I don't recommend you sip on this. I know so many girls I work with love sipping on the lemon water. Don't sip on lemon water. It's a perfect way to erode your teeth. And you don't need veneers. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need work. I'm a big fan of just natural. Natural is best. So protect your teeth, please. On the rare occasion I do drink lemon water, I always rinse out with plain water because you want to neutralize the acidity. So be very careful with this very tasty lemon water. Now, what Maddie told Adam. We need to talk about this because allegedly, Kaylee had a stalker, and we hear the vape shop owner being interviewed, and he mentions Kaylee, and the females that accompanied Kaylee for protection mentioned Kaylee had a stalker. Does the vape shop owner know the name of the stalker maybe? I'm very interested myself. I wish I could question the vape shop owner, but what Maddie told Adam. We know Adam was roommates with Jack Ducour. Jack Ducour is Kaylee's ex. It's concerning. Why? Of course, I'm going to speculate and theorize. So do your own research and come to your own conclusions and set your sensitivities aside, okay? This is not for people who are overly emotional. We are all emotional. We're human. But let's assume that Maddie could have had a little too much to drink. I get the sense that maybe they've been drinking. They are college girls, of course. They probably partied, maybe ingested other substances even. But what if Maddie told Adam one of Kaylee's secrets? What if Kaylee was maybe seeing somebody already? Somebody else that was not Jack D? Is it possible then that Adam would have shared those potential spilled secrets with his roommate? Let me know what you think. Now, a lot of men statistically are violent offenders. Okay, this is not me picking on men. This is me giving you statistics and math and facts. So please set your bias aside. It's not about you. It's not about you today. So there are studies showing that when men are rejected, they can turn violent. So if there was a secret that Maddie told Adam and that Adam told Jack, could Jack D say, you know what? If I can't have you, nobody can. We know that there was no forced entry at 1122 King Road. So let me know what you think about that. Did he have access to the house? Did he know the house well? How many times had he been to that house? I'm going to say several. Now, for those of us who have read the affidavit, we know that there is the mention of suspect vehicle 1. Does that imply that there could potentially be a suspect vehicle 2? I would think so. And did Jack D have a white vehicle? What kind of vehicle does Adam drive? Could the DoorDash driver have also been maybe suspect vehicle number 2? We also know that DoorDash drivers can hide from towers by putting their phone on airplane mode. I have seen DoorDash drivers, I have seen Uber drivers, Lyft drivers put their phone on airplane mode because they don't want any more customers, okay? That's the perfect way to instantly disappear. So something to keep in mind. Now, that night, into that morning of the crime, there was so much activity going on in the whole town. A lot of things happening right before, during, and after the crime. So I'm very curious to know if Ellie actually ruled out all the other vehicles that were in that area. We also know that there's CCTV, there's law enforcement body cams, there are ring cams. Did Ellie actually look through all of them? And why is it that it appears that all that information is being dismissed? Again, we don't really know why it was dismissed from the get-go and they focused right on Brian. But it is interesting, right? That they just said, you know what, we're just gonna pinpoint this one vehicle, despite there being all kinds of other vehicles in the area. We're gonna focus on this one. Why was that? Why did they only focus on Mr. Brian Kohberger? That's something we should keep in mind, especially with all the cameras that I just mentioned were in the area, are in the area. I don't know about you, but I have a feeling that they did not analyze all of that footage. And we know Moscow PD's track record. They love to conceal evidence. Several cases they have tried to eliminate video footage, body cam footage. How can we trust Moscow PD? I don't. Not after reading about the sticker case and several others. Now, I wanted to talk about another case that recently took place in New York because it reminded me a lot of the IDAHO4 indirectly. Two twins, 19 years old, were at a deli. Okay, a deli. And a man went up to one of the girls and asked her out, was hitting on her. She said, "I don't want to be bothered. Please leave me alone." This led to the man that was hitting on her pretending to leave the deli and coming right back with a kitchen knife to stab one of the girls in the arm, who survived, and then to stab the other one in the chest, and she was pronounced dead. So we have a random man with a kitchen knife at a deli losing his mind after being rejected. People have said, how in the world has there been no arrest? There's 1,000 cameras in the area. His face was not covered, from what the survivor has said. So why has there been no arrest? Why do you think? Do you think that maybe New York PD is just lazy? Because that's the vibe I am getting. Is that the vibe that maybe Moscow PD is giving off as well? You let me know. Now, I know a lot of people say Kohberger was probably a rejected incel, therefore he did X, Y, Z. But there is yet no connection, okay? We have no connection still to this day, 16 months about since the IDAHO4. No connection to the victims. But you know who there is a connection to? Potentially a jealous boyfriend, which is almost always suspect number one. Interesting, right? Now, I went to the U.S. Department of Justice website. 75.6% of offenders, violent offenders, are male, 20.1% are female, and 4.3% are offenders not identified by the victim. 75.6% are male offenders, and a lot of those crimes involve men being rejected. Now, another article I found in Psychology Today shows that men and women respond differently to rejection. When men are rejected, they can really get their egos hurt, basically. They see it as an insult if they're told no, because they see it as a threat to their perceived masculinity. Now, women, we are encouraged to get over it. If we're rejected, it's like, get over it, move on. But a lot of men feel the need to get even because they feel that their masculinity is being threatened. And then this can potentially result in violence. Don't click off just yet. Okay, again, this is not me picking on men. This is me educating you. You're welcome. This will serve you whether you are a female or male, because even if you are a man and you don't like what I'm saying, I am just spitting facts. These are hard truths to swallow, I know. And if you're a man and you have a daughter, you really need to soak this information in. Why? Because all of these studies that I'm talking about show that women are in danger when they reject a man. Okay? Just like these two twins at New York in a damn deli. They say, please don't bother me, please leave me alone, and they get stabbed. Ah, yes. Lovely. A lot of websites say, women, you have to be direct. You can't play games. That just makes men angrier. But what do we see when we are direct with men? That happens. Is it possible that something that horrible happened in the IDAHO4? Is it possible that somebody's ego, somebody's perceived masculinity was threatened because he was about to be replaced, or he was already replaced? It is very possible, in my opinion. Now, these rejecting unwanted advances or rejecting a man is risky. And another study I found, it's called Repercussions of Rejecting Unwanted Advances, 2023, James Moran. Okay, this study breaks down how women and men are impacted by these rejections. So for women, we suffer physically. Our hormones, stress hormones rise, cortisol rises, but it also takes a psychological toll on us, because when we have to constantly reject men, we are in fight or flight mode because we don't know how that man is going to react. He might seem fine, just like the guy at the deli, and then come right back to shank us. Very dangerous times we are living in. This also, of course, happens to men, but much more rare, much more rare. So my advice, do what you want, respond how you want. But for me, I get a lot of hostile behavior, okay, in person from men and women, and also in the comments. Just look at all the hostile comments. I have noticed that YouTube has actually removed a lot of them, so that's cool. But hostility from people who are rejected. I've noticed that when I ignore creeps in the comment section because they're being verbally aggressive or, you know, whatever it is, they get more hostile and they come back like every video to watch. So that's cool. That's the world we live in. So if it's somebody bothering you online, you can ignore them or you can report them and track their IP address and have all their information and file a report. And if it's in person and you don't want to be direct because you fear that you might end up as one of the IDAHO4 victims potentially, or as these two twins in New York, you can also say, I'll think about it. For me, that seems to work because it just does. Men get way less aggressive when I tell them, I'll think about it. I know it's horrible, yes, to lie, but every time I have been direct and said, I am not interested, they come back aggressive, and it's like they want to destroy you. Like, I'm telling you, I've had plenty of stalkers in person and online. Some People are just very unstable. So be very careful out there. This is not me trying to make you afraid. I'm just giving you information on how to possibly respond, because for women, especially if you look a certain way, you are more likely to be harassed more often. You are more likely to have to reject people more often because, of course, you have more men asking you out. So be very cautious out there, ladies. Stay safe. And if you're a man watching this, of course, this applies to you as well. We know that cases like this also happen to men, but again, it is much more rare for men, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. And if you're a man watching this, take this information in, take note, because one day you might have a daughter, or you might have a younger or older sister that needs help, or even your mother. So it's useful information. This, I'll think about it. Psych trick works for me. So that's it for the day, guys. Let me know, what do you think about Jack D? I have never forgotten about him. As I mentioned, usually the first suspect is the boyfriend. And jealous boyfriends, rejected boyfriends, egotistical, narcissistic boyfriends who want you all to themselves can get cuckoo very fast, are very dangerous people to be around. Again, as the study pointed out, men are often in the mindset of getting revenge because you've threatened their perceived masculinity. So please stay safe out there. Keep your daughters, mothers, sisters safe if you're a man, and keep yourself safe because people are crazy everywhere. So cheers, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Rinse your teeth after the lemon water.